testing for the top spot or for playoffs.
Yeah, it really is. We are obviously a little bit behind, so we are going to be jumping straight to picks and bans. You can see on the lower third there, we have a look now at absolutely is right at the end when you're coming towards the important games. I would much rather a situation like what RNG has, where they're losing their first 5 series and then coming back and winning 6 in a row. That's the kind of style that I would much prefer to see. That is the dream, and that's what you want to see. As I see that now, flash forward, face breaker there by Chocho as he jumps in straight away, trying to get this one. Was a very DP onto this one, as it's going to be trying to join into this fight. It is still now a 4v4. Flash is being burnt, and the Haymaker not able to come out in time. Forge in a little bit of trouble. He flashes forward, lands himself the Q, and gets himself out. It's still a 2 for 2 in the exchange. LNG won't be unhappy with that.
Resets, but had them available to fight one longer. I think that's why Rogue Warriors knew they had to disengage.
You know,
remember, no flash from Betty now.
I was just about to say, there's going to be no summoners here for Betty. He can't do anything. Chocho, walk away. You don't need to be here, but he gets concussive blowed as well. He's going to try and get himself out, but it's 2 quick kills, and LNG fully punished this bot side. Rogue Warriors just not expecting the trundle in the bush. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I would say it's pretty OP, you know. Either that or the alternatives are just underpowered, right? You know, that's the sort of question you have to raise. It could be a situation, but then again, if everything else is underpowered compared to one thing, does that not just mean it's also overpowered?
Well, we're going to see who's overpowered in this fight. Do you see the Glacial Fish are good to kind of zone people away? I don't think LNG want this fight just yet. They're not quite in position, but they are now. Look, Iwandi is waiting. He's saying, look, if you ain't going to engage on me, I'm going to engage on you. There's the Trundle Pillar of Ice to try and get him in, but a good disengaging Chains of Corruption keeps everyone locked up and away from this fight on LNG. Forge feeling comfortable, feeling good. Rogue Warriors strike back after a delayed Rift Herald fight.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of a HP difference there, I will definitely say. So playing it safe in that situation. Icon, he's feeling confident with the mana pool, but he's gonna get engaged though.
He's by himself, and oh my word, he just gets picked off. I was talking to Dagda earlier on in the week, and it's exactly what he said is the issue with LNG. They're separated, they're on their own, they're almost like they're playing solo queue. They're not a cohesive unit.
Put yourself in such a compromised position, and again, it means that now Rogue Warriors can lean towards this top side very comfortably and take this first tower. You know, sometimes you see this great mitigation from LNG. They deny the held. I'm like, okay, good job, and then they just do something like.
So he's going to do that right now, and of course you can see Light just trying to stack up towards his Manamune right now, as we now see Iwandi in a little bit of trouble. The Unbreakable goes up, but nowhere for you to go. Flashes over the wall and uses his exhaust as well, but to just absolutely no avail. Nice little pick off here from Rogue Warriors, and they're just using the vision they had from before.
Yeah, and Iwandi is kind of been looking a bit rough this game, honestly. Just pushing too far forwards, not respecting, not grouping up with the teammates. And again, is as you said when you were talking about Dagda's statement about how this is kind of LNG's weakness, this disconnect between the members.
Just those exact lyrics
it could be something like window shopping, like they're window shopping or something, and I'm just like, I don't know. We'll
figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out in post. But LNG, they just bully RW off, and now we're going to see the showstopper to start all of things off. We're going to see the Glacial Fisher to try and disengage, and this is all right for LNG. They're trying to see if they can get the kills down. The Viego, however, will not get the reset. The Gore Drinkers, good Everfrost though onto 2 means that Forge and Xiao Hao cannot continue. LNG just get a dragon and they get out 1 for 1. They're happy.
Not, and especially with a Mountain Soul, which is such a powerful one to pick up early. But later in the game, when people have percentage penetration, enough damage to cut through the shields, it's not as big. Now, Rogue Warriors are starting the Baron. There isn't actually any vision nearby here.
I love this. I love this. They're even throwing the Varus into mid lane to make sure that absolutely nobody goes undetected. They're now putting the pings down to say, hang on, these guys have been AFK for a little bit. Tarzan is around. They now know he's coming in. They now know it probably is being taken down and gone. Taken away from LNG. Rogue Warriors steal away the Baron. Forge caught between a pillar and a wall, but he is fine. Great awareness for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, really good angle they does, but Rogue Warriors don't really care. They can just lean into this bot wave that Forge is set up and apply pressure to this tier 2 tower. Icon and Ale are there to try and defend, but again, they can't really do anything to this cannon minion. That being said, they're not going to go for the cannon minion. They're going to go for the bigger cannon minion that is Betty, but Betty just survives, uses his flash to get away from the Viego. And again, no one was there to follow up. Ale goes in completely alone. The rest of his team got to look at him like, all right, bye. And now Rogue Warriors could maybe crack open the base. I'm going to be cautious about the AoE from the Rise bouncing on them, but LNG aren't comfortable stepping up. They can't clear the minions quick enough. There's going to be bot inhib down, and Rogue Warriors you know, they're getting so much more than they ever bargained for. It's just consistently LNG are just handing them these freebies over. I mean, you see the engage there. It's like, okay, let's do a sniper brawl ult to try and knock someone up. Okay, that only hit the Recton. Let's throw a pillar down, and that's it. That's literally it. Where's the engage coming in?
There we go. The flash kick right down the showstopper to try and start it all off. The Brom is dead. Now, can you look for anything off of this? Great moonfall to catch out 3, and you can see LNG in full retreat. They want nothing to do with this, but they got to be careful in Rogue Warriors. They have not got the resets available to the Viego, though. LNG just getting decimated, and with TP available on the Lee Sin, they may look for the end right here, right now.
I think it might be a bit of a risky one. Xiao very low in this, but they are going to try it. That's actually a bit of a misplay of the TP. You should wait for it, the minions to be at a tower, but actually they got supers in the bot lane, so why not just use them?
Double supers here, so they can just look to try and take down this turret. There is a Varus there. Betty, though, not really got a lot of mana, and Rogue Warriors, they're thinking the better of it. They don't want to risk it all on one last Nexus push. The death timer's not exactly huge enough, but not...
But the thing is, Ale can't really go down and clear out this wave and then be back in time to TP because the Baron's already been started. So really nice timing from Rogue Warriors to kick this one off. The inhibitors respawning soon, but the fight's kicking off already.
The fight is kicking off. Glacial Fissure has been used. Chocho takes a lot of damage. Force goes in with the kick to try and set this one all up. The Brom is dead, but they get take down the Icon. The Rise is gone, and Forge is still pushing forward. It's a very, very good fight for Rogue Warriors, and they have a TP on ZDZ if they want to try and end the game. That's a quadra kill here for Betty on the Varus, and game 1 goes to RW in, honestly, a very convincing fashion.
And it feels like LNG would try to play this passive defensive game throughout the early game into the mid game, but Rogue Warriors just found the agency, and I think LNG did an okay job at first, but then it was just this disconnect between them, getting caught out consistently, and Rogue Warriors...
3 different stadiums today. We started in Shanghai, went to Shenzhen, and now we're in Suzhou, so... all around the map today as we look down and see what they wanted to go for. And again, honestly, I'm loving this from Rogue.
A fair bit more in that scenario.
Do they think they've gone back? Oh, they do a little bit as they go forward. There's the Gravitum down. Iwandi in a lot of trouble. He's forced to flash away. Don't quite get the concussive blows, but they equal it back up. And Rogue Warriors, they're just playing heads up right now.
I love the fact they're challenging this situation. This is the power of that Braum. It makes it very difficult to engage in as a Leona. And on top of that, the concussive blows just means the Aphelios can just keep hitting targets and stunning them down.
TP.
Now, there's a ward behind. We could see a TP coming in. This is going to be that Lissandra with the CC.
There is going to be the Lissandra coming in. That's Icon there, but he gets concussive blow down. He doesn't have himself. Oh no! Rogue Warriors able to completely mitigate it. LNG left reeling from that play. Great response though from Rogue Warriors.
So rough from Icon. I mean, you're TPing into a lost scenario, right?
Well, he cannot follow up on that, no matter how much he would like to. And speaking of follow-up, they're going to jump onto Ale, who gets completely just obliterated by 3 members of the side of Rogue Warriors. Yes, they lose a dragon, but Rogue Warriors, again, just looking so much more proactive.
It's this mid-jungle once more who are just doing everything on the map. Forge and Xiaohao are just making plays happen. And
yeah, that man just took my 50p. I didn't get any sweets at all. This is
I didn't get a
Fredo,
wrong, man.
Yeah, what the hell? It's annoying that Fredos are worth like 50p now. Back when we were kids, they were probably worth like, what, 5p?
They were
10,
5p. Dude. I remember them being 10. Did you get half a Fredo now for 50p?
Side of Rogue Warriors are aware of that. They have no real reason to contest this as heavily as the side of LNG are, so they're just going to try and get priority in this mid lane by dropping down the Rift Herald, but no real support here for it, so they actually might not get the... will get the charge, but they won't get anything else off it, so still waiting to take down that tier 1 in mid. Yeah, LNG not going to be super upset with giving away this dragon if they didn't feel comfortable fighting it. It is still only the 2nd one for Rogue Warriors, 4th one of the game. And LNG, though, walking forward. They're going to try and jump into Xiaohao, who does get hit by the Glacial Tomb. He will be taken down very, very low, but not quite finished off. Just Jay flashes away. They have the Unbreakable, but he will fall, as here goes the Moonlight Vigil down, and they jump straight onto Betty and try and take him out of this fight. LNG just found an opportunity, knew what they could do, and were able to 100% punish onto Rogue Warriors. They will end up gaining 4, losing none, and this is just a fantastic start to this fight for LNG.
Just beautiful target selection there, honestly, from LNG. They knew Diana was a big threat if you don't shut it down. Easily chain it into more with those frozen thralls. And the thing is, because Rogue Warriors were so inactive, LNG have been able to make up that goal difference. And this now means they'll be picking up their 3rd dragon of the game. Ocean Soul for an Olaf is I mean, it's insane.
It's insane, but at the same time, 2 TPs have been coming in. They're going to try to kill off Tarzan, but he's too tanky. Oh, Forge almost goes down. We're going to look at Xiao Hao and Chocho coming in on top of this.
Play. This which is critical here. But again, they have to start the fight before the smite.
They have to start the fight before the smite. That is the call from you. TP is available here as Icon gets jumped on. TP going to be coming in. There's going to be the frozen path to keep everyone away. Solar Flare goes in onto the backside. Great Glacial Fissure onto 4. And they get the Moonfall as well. You can see ZDZ trying to cut off the escape route right now as Betty being jumped on by this Scissors maniac in the front lines. But it's just not enough for LNG. I don't think they're going to be able to continue fighting this one up. The concussive blows will stun up both of these carries, and they will find themselves a fight. It ends up being 3 for 4 in favor of Rogue Warriors. But LNG, they stop the Baron, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, Rogue Warriors managed to get some gold, but all in all, they don't really trade too favorably there. Forge just 5 kills in his pocket now. This Lee Sin's a monster, but it just feels like the 80 carries can't stay alive. It's like Ole is just doing so much work there, and I kind of talked about it. So LNG, you know, they had that pride, they got some vision down, but they were forced out, and now Rogue Warriors, they have sort of a foothold on the area. The Dragon's spawning, but remember, even if they lose the fight, if LNG get the Dragon, it's a massive win for them.
That's exactly it. Solar Flare has been used, as the Glacial Fissure. There's going to be the Moonlight Vigil going down on top of a couple of different members, but Ale is still on the backside. He's trying to get on top of Betty, who's forced to flash away. He goes golden. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of LNG, but now look at Betty trying his very best to keep this fight alive. He's got himself the white and green guns and a little blast plant, or excuse me, a honey fruit plant, and now the resets are coming in. The TPs are going to be used now as Forge goes in. It's going to be double TP committed here for the side of LNG and get themselves back into this fight. These arrows are doing so much, and here we go. Ale jumping back in, but Forge jumps in on the 3. He's 3v1 right now, all on his own, and will not be able to survive. LNG get the fight, and they get the Dragon. It's exactly one thing you can see. They're just busting themselves right in front of this Braum. They do not want him to get anywhere near this, and now, because he looked to try and maybe steal that objective, just has to burn his flash to keep himself alive, but RW now really in a hole.
Just RW not able to find the advantage here. We can see Betty's untouched for a good portion of this fight. It looks like he's in a comfortable spot. He starts poking out damage, he starts getting a lot done, and then Ale looks at him. And that's when everything changes. Like, he dashes forwards here, even with the exhaust on, gets the snip, and look at that damage. That's with the exhaust, right?
God damn.
And I know he does 2 damage on his Q, but even so, and as soon as that happens, it's like Betty stopped pumping damage. His team have run out of health, which is an unfortunate problem in League of Legends, and they're just not able to continue.
He did it in game 1, so now, with that Baron pressure being coming in for the side of LNG, they can start this 2-man. Like you said, they have the sustain. Ale and Tarzan can just kite back off of this, no problem whatsoever, as Ale just pushes forwards with the needlework. It's going to force the Unbreakable. ZDZ does get the Dominus off, as well as the Solar Flare back on top of this, and ZDZ is probably in a lot of hurt if he doesn't get himself out right now. The flash forward into the Moonfall, trying to catch anybody out they possibly can. Forge goes in on the backside, but they've lost their front lines. The Braum, the Renekton, and Betty all dead. The Aphelios could not survive against the Raging Viking, and LNG get everything. They kill 4. It's only Xiao Hao left, and they might look for the end right here, right now.
Yeah, they got a minion wave, but actually, yeah, they got a minion wave coming up. That cannon's a little bit low, but I think Tarzan might just tank the tower here. I think they can actually end off the back of this. Diana just doesn't have the wave clear, and they're looking to push up and go for it. This should just be them equalizing that game 1. LNG answer back with force.
And again, we're seeing LNG go towards that 2-1 scoreline. They will have the minions to stop that backdoor bonus for the side of Rogue Warriors, and there's nothing Xiao Hao can do. He just has to watch as his base goes down. Great response here from LNG in game 2 to equal out the series. Not to be right now for Rogue Warriors. They do lock in the Silas at the end of it all, but Silas good enough to basically do exactly what the Rise will do. Just gonna be a little bit of a strat you can do so that when you come into the 2022 split, you have yourself an option to run with. But Xiao Hao has just cleared his top side and going straight into the top lane. I love this movement here as they're going to try and catch out Ale. Flash forward does get the Kolbamik down. They're going to be able to take him out, no questions asked. And that's exactly what I talked about for Rogue Warriors.
Warriors, they haven't really been able to do too much with it. They are finally going for that the binding. I'm not sure what happened with the control ward.
Obviously, he had the control ward on one of his buttons that was the very close to the binding, and
out a bit, and doesn't have the cleanse available, which makes this Varus so threatening. If you get comboed by the Alistar, Chains of Corruption follows. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly what you just mentioned there. We will see the flash being used by Betty's. He's trying to put down the Wrens. Not quite able to take down Iwandi, but look at Icon roaming in with the Realm Warp. They will not have the minions just yet. Betty in a lot of trouble forcing the flash out. They will kill off Iwandi, though, just as he goes down. Light taking another hit with the turret. They're not quite able to land the hook, though, onto Icon. And now Chocho kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, without a prayer, without a panel, and without any life whatsoever. Light picks himself up that one, and Icon with a successful roam bot side.
Yeah, interesting decision for Iwandi to be the one to tank there on that HP, but either way, the play works, but Rogue Warrior is going to respond on the other side with this Herald. The mid laner being bot means there's no way LNG can really contest. But they will just sort of hover in the rush, and now they feel confident to pick up this dragon. Again, LNG haven't really been too concerned with these first dragons for the most part this series. They've kind of just been happy.
I think it was a very much a hook or flash hook anticipation, but with Icon no longer having his flash now at the rise, we're going to see them push in towards this mid lane and pick up at least 3 turret plates. So it's a nice little bit of gold here for Rogue Warriors. And now Betty in a little bit of trouble. He will not get caught up just yet, but there's a chain of corruption. Iwandi picks up that kill, and that's exactly the combination you talked about here for the side of LNG.
Yeah, and once the combo connects, the chains are coming after. The burst damage is there. Now Tarzan going pretty aggressive here.
I mean, I like this from the side of Rogue Warriors. They're going to commit the TP, so it's going to be a 5v4 at the start of this one here. But they are able to take down the Nautilus. So LNG looking pretty good, but the Moonfall hits onto 3. And you can see ZDZ just wreaking havoc in his backside to kill off the Viego. And this Tarzan has no damage, but it is enough from the Rise to be able to take down 2 more people. They end up getting more and more from this. And the end of it all, it ends up being a 4-for-1 trade, or 4-for-2 trade in favor of LNG. Poor resets coming in from LNG.
Yeah, the time's been a little bit off. They haven't really gotten in position to defend this, and it's the fact that they can take the Herald and instantly translate it, but they are looking for the engage. That's a long Zac jump.
Oh, long Zac jump, and you had Iwandi with the Hex Flash as well. Ale moving forward with the Heartbreaker resets. He was renekted for a little bit, but Xiaohao is in no real danger, and Betty trying to, I guess, take the Raptors sometimes, and you combo that with the Alistar, the bouncing, the knock-ups, the knockbacks. It's just so difficult to get out of CC right now, and I feel like Merc Treads should be on the cards for a lot of these tankier members. And speaking of Merc Treads, we're going to have to see a little bit of an engage now in the mid lane as they jump on. Chocho trying his very best, but the Zac jumps in to try and be the front line. Xiaohao is just straight up taken out of the fight. Nothing they can do, and 2 quick kills. LNG feeling confident, feeling frisky, looking for more, but without the minion wave, they are just going to have to take this turret and back themselves up a little bit, but they may look for the tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rogue Warriors have to be really concerned. They won't push for that tier 2 right now.
Capitalize on an overextended Ale as they now just jump in on top of that. The stolen Heartbreaker as they try and keep going on top of him, but no real mana, and Forge goes underneath the tower. 1 more auto attack would have killed him, but it has to burn his flash, and that means Dragon in favor of LNG. Bot tier 2 in favor of LNG. And Rogue Warriors are just without any real ideas.
Remember, gives a lot of gold ever since the change they brought in. And now, actually, fight breaking off.
We're going to see a fight breaking off. Icon had got the Banshee's Veil, so he will not be taking any CC up. And we see a flash in. The Moonfall comes down onto 2, and you can see Ale running for the hills. He does not want to be a part of this. They did get the TP from ZDZ. Now they're going to be a trade of 1-for-1. It's Rise, though, for the Nautilus. You're very happy with that. Look at Betty. He's just putting spears into people right now. They take down the Silence, but they lose the Alistar. They take down the Cow for the Crocodile. And now Ale looking to try and trade this one back, but Tarzan and Light are just too damn big. Look at the range on that. This man should be an Olympic jumper with how far he's able to make that move. And that's going to be a full ace in favor of LNG, and they're going to take their prize of the Baron.
Honestly, I don't think that was actually that bad of a fight for Rogue Warriors, but they just couldn't follow through at the end of it. They just couldn't find the momentum. And the thing is, it's a goal difference, right? All in all, I think the actual structure of how that fight went, not too bad. The problem is, LNG are ahead. They can't take down Tarzan. Ale just gets so much value in these extended fights with the resets, and Light is able to position Wave pushing him bot that they can also lean towards.
And they just got to keep this cannon minion who's going to be joined by a friend in about 2 seconds nice and healthy. And who kills it? No one has range on the side of Rogue Warriors. And you can see there Tarzan just pushing in forward. Going to be forcing the Fate's Call out of Betty to keep Chocho alive. And Dominance as well. You could just wait. You could honestly just wait for a little bit longer and just take this fight whenever you choose. You don't have to overcommit to this.
Yeah, and the thing is, Rogue Warriors want to fight. They want to break this Baron siege, but Minions going to get TP'd in by the Rise to the other lane. The cannons are there, and they'll just be able to tank up the tower, and they very quickly transition this from a mid inhibitor take to a bot inhibitor take, and that's those 2 inhibitors down, going to cause a lot of pressure. They're able to pull it off. They need a fight sooner rather than later just because of those super minions at the side waves.
Yeah, they need to just go find the go button. That is it. Go straight in on top of someone. But there's Tarzan. We can see Chocho going golden straight away. Betty completely caught up in the chains of corruption. And I don't think they can really go anywhere now. Oh no, Xiao Hao has been caught. He has to go into Zonya's state straight away. He tries to get the moonfall off as Zack's abilities end up going straight up into the camera and knocking up all of the different particles. And LNG, they're just too far ahead. Look at their health bars. Look at how they're posturing around this bot side. They don't care. Tarzan could literally go in on top of this and knock you up 2 dams about how he goes. Ianza gets a little bit of stall points as we do see the final fight coming in. It's actually going to be Iwandi, the first one to fall. And these health bars are starting to palm down a little bit. You need to be a little bit careful if you're on the side of LNG. You don't want to just overextend too much, but Light with the GA able to come back in, take down the tier 1, or the second, or sorry, tier 1, the Nexus, first Nexus turret. So I finally get my words out of me. And that's going to be all she wrote. The second Nexus turret will fall, and that is going to be Rogue Warriors falling 2-1 to LNG, and LNG qualifying with 10 wins to take themselves into playoffs.